Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Cate-Cast, an entertainment podcast. My name is Ezra, and I'm joined by
Ahmad
and Sawyer.
To break down how this works, each of us has brought a topic from each of our three categories: movies, TV, and video games, and we'll have a discussion around those things. We have about 10 minutes of discussion dedicated to each of these topics, and then at the end, whatever is the category that is on rotation or the category that we just decided that we wanted to do, we will have a broader discussion rather than each of us bringing our own topics. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start with Sawyer, Rick and Morty in TV.
So I want to preface this conversation by saying I know many people in the online community have their own opinions about this show, possibly without even ever having watched the show. I'm not going to let this conversation turn into essentially a discussion on online discourse and whether or not a fandom should act the way this one does. That being said, I do not condone the way most of this fandom acts, but the show itself is not to blame. I will never blame the content creators and the quality content they produce on the fan base.
Actions of their
on the actions of the fan base. Yeah. All right. So, have you guys heard about any of the things with?
I do know about the Szechuan sauce thing.
Yes.
That was bizarre.
Yes.
I remember watching a clip of somebody. Like they were at the McDonald's and they were told that, like, it was a customer, and they were told that, like, oh, we don't have any more, or maybe they were, like, they didn't have it
I
at
know
all.
this story. Yeah.
And so they, like, they were freaking out so hard that they, like, got up on the counter and started screaming, like, I want my Szechuan sauce, I want my Szechuan sauce, and I was just
and they did, like, a Rick voice or something like that.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't know why this is worth freaking out that hard over.
In the show, really, that it's not even that big of a deal. There's one passing reference where it's an episode where they're in, like, Rick's subconscious or something like that. I don't remember if it's another dimension or his subconscious or something. And that they're in, like, a 1998 McDonald's, and he's telling some alien he's like, this whole story of, this sauce was created as a promotion for Mulan back in the 90s, and they haven't had it since, and it was so good. And then that's it. And then McDonald's did, like, a limited time thing of, like, hey, we're fans of the show too, here's the sauce back for a limited time.
Bring back the Szechuan sauce.
And then it ran out like that because everyone was a major fan of the... Just went out and got...
Yeah, Rick and Morty is huge, dude.
And so people were upset to the point where, like, people were assaulting McDonald's workers because they weren't getting Szechuan sauce.
Oh my god!
Like, I can't.
Fans are the worst.
Like, it's a funny online meme, but in reality, when you realize that fans of a cartoon are assaulting McDonald's employees because they can't get a sauce, it's like,
yeah.
That's so
insane. That's how you know that when you're living in America, you really do live a good life. you have so much time on your hands that you just complain about Szechuan sauce.
Yeah.
The show itself was inspired by Back to the Future, is that right?
Very clearly.
Okay.
So the relationship of Doc and Marty is very similar to Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty. I mean, that's what obviously it's very clear. But
there was a short that I believe the creator did before the show called Doc and Marty, but it was spelled MHARTI rather than the way Marty usually spelled. And it was kind of like it was in really crappy animation, and it later morphed into what this show became.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's like all of these animated shows, especially ones like these. Rick and Morty, Family Guy, The Simpsons, which we're going to talk about.
South Park started out with the Santa Claus versus Jesus.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Thing
they all start off in a weird place, but they sort of morph into something different.
Yeah. I think the main thing I wanted to address with the show was just the quality of the writing, because it is so clever, which is also itself turned into a meme with the whole, you're not smart enough to understand Rick and Morty or something like that. It's a very smartly written show. The character dynamics, with it seeming like a lot of dumb humor, they also find a way to make it very, like, character focused at times.
Yeah.
Like the relationship between Morty's parents, Beth and Jerry, is like at times hilarious and at times also really sad.
Oh yeah.
Like it's
They understand tropes, that's for sure, just cinematic tropes in general.
and when they break the fourth wall to address the fact that like yes we've done this before.
Yeah.
or
Oh
something
yeah.
like that. It's
It's
great.
That's funny.
Obviously you have the you have some. I don't know. I haven't seen. So was there the newest season? When was the newest season?
So this is definitely. I'm glad you bring that up.
Yeah.
It's definitely a quality over quantity show.
Okay.
Season 3, the latest one was in 2017.
Yeah.
The first one was in 2013, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2013, 2014.
Yeah.
And then the second season was in 2015.
Okay.
Yeah. So 2 years for a season.
And they're usually only about 10 to 13 episodes a season. And they're half hour long. They are, so like I said, it's definitely quality over quantity.
Mm-hmm.
But that being said, they are a very high quality.
Oh my god. Oh, yeah. I mean, come on. Pickle Rick.
Pickle Rick, iconic meme.
A Wrinkle in Time. That was an interesting
And
episode.
not most, but a lot of the titles of the episodes find some way of putting in the Rick or Morty name into it. Like titles such as Total Recall and Morty Night Run.
The Ricks must be crazy.
Yeah. The Rick Shank Redemption. Yeah.
Morty Night Run. It's so like they always.
It's all references.
Actually, I didn't notice that. I never noticed that.
Yeah, there's really only like 2 episodes, and I can't remember what they were, that weren't that good.
Yeah.
Like most of the time, it's always great. I don't want to get into the reasons why season 3 had controversy because it's back to the old online community being garbage.
Well, I had Hulu for a period of time with my Spotify account, and I binged season 1 and 2. I don't think season 3 was out at the time, so I haven't seen season 3 at all, so I don't know about that.
Did you like 1 and 2?
Oh yeah, I enjoyed. Like you said, all the episodes. There was like 1 or 2 that were kind of like not as funny as some other ones or smart, but they were definitely entertaining.
Yeah.
I didn't see any faults in.
And the animation is really good too.
Oh, the
like,
animation.
The backgrounds, there's always something going on that like I'll go back and watch it and I've completely missed something in the background.
Exactly. Oh yeah.
So shows like Futurama, Simpsons, Family Guy, those shows. I mean, Simpsons and Family Guy are still going.
We're gonna talk about the Simpsons.
But do you think that Rick and Morty is sort of the successor in a lot of ways to that? Or do you think it's just part of a new generation?
Well, I think it's in the middle, like stuck in between. I think it's definitely the successor in terms of being the most popular animated show targeted towards an older age group, like primarily adults.
Mm-hmm.
I think in terms of it's not the same sort of humor as The Simpsons and Family Guy. It's more close to Family Guy and South Park than it is Simpsons.
Okay.
But shows like Family Guy and South Park are definitely shows that helped a lot, or create a show like this, or have this be on air. So like definitely those are.
I would consider this show it's a drama mixed with like a little bit of South Park in it, just not as crude as South Park.
Not as crude.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is like
also
intense.
the show gets very violent at times. Like
It
just
gets
go right.
violent,
Which
it
is
also
fun.
gets dark.
It's
Like,
fun.
it gets really
it gets really dark and violent, but like it's fun. It's fun.
Honestly, I would consider the show a dark comedy.
Yeah.
Like there's moments of like Rick questioning the universe and
man.
stuff like that,
yeah.
followed by a Szechuan sauce.
Szechuan sauce.
Like
yeah.
it's just.
Oh man, yeah.
The fact that they're able to have such humorous moments punctuated by just like Rick's crippling depression is just like it's so strange and it shouldn't work, but it's hilarious.
But it's really fun. The writing really helps. But yeah.
Okay. So do you have anything?
I would just say check it out. If all you've ever heard about the show is just the online community and the memes related to the show itself is much better than the community and the memes that made it seem.
Okay.
If you just open up, it's on Hulu right now. All 3 seasons are on Hulu. So if you have Hulu, maybe take some time. They're only 22-minute episodes. Just Google the best ones. Some ones that I personally really like are Rick Shank Redemption, Get Swifty, The Wedding Squatchers. They're all good episodes. just open up Hulu and judge for yourself whether it's a good show and if the community is wrong or not.
Okay, I think that's like something that should be said for every community. So let's move on. Ahmad, The Simpsons.
The Simpsons, we were just talking about Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
The Simpsons was considered to be kind of edgy when it first. I mean, it was.
It's sort of the progenitor of like edgy cartoons.
Cartoons from the early 90s. Actually, it was the first season might have been.
I believe it was 89.
89, yeah. The first season was 89, but nobody had seen anything like this before.
Yeah.
This is. I'm pretty sure. I'm fairly sure that the first few seasons are more sort of directed towards adults and adult humor. But these last few seasons, I don't know. I think they're more geared towards family.
That's
comedy.
the general consensus.
I mean, I grew up watching The Simpsons. It was something that I was okay to like. The humor was definitely not for a kid to watch, like a 5-year-old or something. They wouldn't get it. But I still found enjoyment watching some of the later seasons. It's on its 30th season now. It's the most profitable season TV show ever. That's crazy when I think about that. 30 seasons. It's 30 years.
It's more profitable than SpongeBob?
More profitable. SpongeBob is second.
Isn't this currently, now it could be way off, isn't this now officially the longest running American sitcom?
Yes, it is. Yep, it is. That's what I'm trying to say. 30 seasons. It's managed to stay relevant 30 years. So that's
which is amazing.
That's a TV show, because like a lot of times, I mean, obviously people stop finding TV shows, interesting or funny. That's not sensible anymore. They don't relate to it as much. But The Simpsons has managed to. Now I don't know whether or not this 30th season is really good. The last episode looks like it's titled "'Tis the 30th Season," so I don't know. I don't know.
That could mean literally anything.
I see a little bit of the plot description at the top. It says like it's a Christmas episode.
It's based on the title. I don't know if the 30th season is really good at all. But
Simpsons to me has always been that show that everybody knows, but no one watches regularly.
Yeah.
Everybody's just like they're sitting comes on after the news. They don't bother to change the channel, and it's just in the background.
Oh yeah, it's in the background. It's definitely something. It's like for mass consumption, pretty much. You don't really, There's
it's not one of those shows where you're like, I can't wait to watch The Simpsons. It's just something it's familiar when you're just channel surfing and it's on, you'll leave it on.
It's definitely...
That's kind of like Family Guy for me.
Yeah,
same.
I think The Simpsons is definitely ingrained into American culture in a way that a lot of stuff just isn't.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you'll hear people like... Stephen Colbert talking about The Simpsons in one breath, and then you'll hear a Catholic bishop talking about them in the next breath, right? And it's like everybody knows what The Simpsons is. I don't actually think I've seen an episode straight through of The Simpsons, but I know like, Homer Simpson, Bart Simpson. Like I know these characters. I know of these characters at least. In the same way that I know who Mickey Mouse is. Yeah. The same way that I know who Superman is. And it's really amazing that a show like The Simpsons has gone that long. Right?
I mean, and it also, like we were talking about Rick and Morty. So this is like shows like this sort of comments on society. Even though it's an animated show, it's also kind of cynical in a way, commenting on society. This is also a show that started off with a totally different animation style and morphed into something else. Obviously, I think the pilot was like some 2D cutouts or something. If I recall from
like a South Park style.
Yeah.
The animation is also. It's been running for 30 years. They've seen.
Oh man.
Yeah.
The assistance of computer animation has certainly.
It's funny. I was talking to a friend the other day, and they were like, "This is gonna kind of change the topic, but with SpongeBob, they know whether the episode's gonna be good or not based on how it looks. If it looks better, then it's probably not gonna be good.
If it looks good, then it's not gonna be good.
Yeah. If it looks more great,
that's the funny thing is like HD SpongeBob is the SpongeBob nobody
likes. Oh man, I was watching an episode on Thanksgiving, and they just rip off older episodes. They were ripping off the spatula hand guy who the iconic one with they called back.
They're just taking old ideas and just doing a sequel to it, or like a remix.
Just remixing.
Well, this is a whole topic for a different conversation. But The Simpsons is a prevalent show. I mean, it's I don't know how long it's going to be around for.
Probably another 30 years.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably going to die, and The Simpsons is still going to be on
Yeah,
the air.
which is funny because the creators of The Simpsons will be long dead.
Oh, they will
and-
be. They'll pat. Yeah.
Oh, this show is going to outlive its creators for sure.
Oh, I think
Oh,
so.
yeah.
Fox is never going to let this show die.
Oh no, it's not.
And then if this Disney deal goes through, there's no way Disney's gonna let this show
Well,
die.
Disney doesn't get the Fox network.
Oh, that's
They
right.
might get the license to Simpsons, but they don't get the network.
Huh.
So who knows?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, check out The
Who
Simpsons.
knows?
If it's on TV, I mean, check it out if you haven't seen it.
If you're the one person
Yeah,
who's
the
never
one
seen,
person who hasn't in America.
or at least knows of the
knows of The Simpsons.
You're the second person who's never seen The Simpsons.
Oh, because Mr. Azra here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know the characters.
Yeah, you know
Yes.
the characters. You've heard the
I know
names
the
of Simpsons.
characters.
You've heard the
Yes,
names.
if you're living under a rock, go watch The Simpsons.
Yeah.
I guess is the
But yeah, I thought I'd mention The Simpsons. Yeah.
cool. Yeah, you good with that?
I'm good.
All right, so let's move on to movies because I don't really have a TV show I want to talk about this week. I was going to talk about Star Trek The Next Generation, but then I decided I wanted more time for our broad discussion.
Mhm.
So we'll go into movies, and I'll lead us off with Inception. So I'm gonna lead us off with my I love this movie.
You've seen it more times than I have, so you have probably.
You've only seen it once?
Well, I've seen it I've seen it a couple times, but you've seen.
I've seen it twice.
You've seen it recently, though, right?
Yeah, I've watched it recently.
So you have.
So I love the movie. I think it's one of the most smartly put together movies.
Composed, yeah, filmed, yeah.
Like it's because it gives you the rules,
Mhm.
and then it plays by those rules.
Oh, yeah.
Like there's no point in the movie, which is it's an inherently ridiculous movie. Like
Yeah.
the idea of a dream inside of a dream inside of a dream is an inherently just flat out ridiculous idea. But Christopher Nolan, and I think he's the one that wrote it,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
He lays out the rules and he makes it work because he never breaks his rules at any point.
I mean, Christopher Nolan is definitely a master at composing a story. He
Yeah.
knows, he understands, how to tell a
He's-
story.
yeah,
With the
he's
Batman
the-
series,
yeah.
he tells it's a fairly straightforward 3-act structure, but he tells it in such a
Well,
really
and
well done way.
and some will say that it's not even a 3-act
Well,
structure.
the first Batman Begins, at least.
Well, there's an argument that it's a 4-act film.
That's
So
that's-
it,
Dark Knight definitely is a 4-act.
yeah.
4-act, yeah.
In any case,
But he knows.
he's- well, and the thing that Christopher Nolan does so well is that he knows how cinema can be used best to tell a story. Because you have the Harry Potter movies, which is basically just using the medium of cinema to convey the Harry Potter story, whereas Christopher Nolan is using cinematic techniques to tell a brand new story. And he's fleshing out those cinematic techniques while he's doing that. That's why you'll see, for instance, the Honest trailer will point out that there are actually a lot of similar story beats in Christopher Nolan films.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that it's more about the craft of the way that he's conveying the film, rather than the plot,
the substance of the film.
the substance or the meaning of the plot itself.
No.
So.
I remember seeing Memento for the first time, and my mind was like, I had to
it's
take a while.
Well,
he wrote that with his brother as well.
Yeah.
Just enough.
Well, and I was talking with a professor, and he was saying that he has access to a cut of Inception, or not Inception, of Memento in real time.
Oh wow!
And he was saying that it's not a good movie.
Oh wow!
And the reason that the movie is good is
the way it's told.
is the editing.
And that really speaks to Christopher Nolan. Like what you're trying to say. Additionally, is just he knows, he makes the story more interesting the way he tells it.
Yeah, it's more about the way.
So that's what you were saying. It's not necessarily the story itself. It's the way he tells the story that makes me.
Yeah, which is sort of why I want him to direct a Star Wars movie.
Oh man!
That because I know that he would take a Star Wars story and tell it real.
Look at what he did with the Batman. I mean,
exactly.
So that's.
So
all the characters in Inception, all the actors, there's no fault. I mean, I don't think there's a bad actor.
I don't think there's a bad performance in that movie.
Yeah.
I think probably the weakest one is the guy who's who like has created the serum for the really strong sleep so that you can perform Inception.
Yeah.
That guy feels kind of shoehorned in.
Yeah.
But the rest of the cast is perfect.
Just saying, like, Leonardo DiCaprio does really well.
DiCaprio.
You also have Hans Zimmer, who's
no one's gonna see this movie and go, "Oh, Michael Caine, he's not that good." Like, no one's gonna.
Yeah.
No one's gonna say. But Hans Zimmer, he's also. I mean, he's worked with Hans Zimmer before.
Yeah.
So.
He the score is definitely iconic in Inception.
I mean, that's Chris Nolan.
Yeah,
like you mentioned to me earlier, this movie basically created the modern trailer.
Yeah,
really
that Inception trailer, it's a great trailer, and the song is better than the trailer.
Oh,
so it's like, I don't really like it's a really smart movie.
Mm.
It's not, and again, like I think one of my things about filmmaking is that we've focused a lot more, like when we're thinking about the quality of a film.
Yeah.
We tend to focus a lot more on like what the content of the film is rather than how creative and like how well it was told.
Yeah.
That's why like when you see a documentary, they're all kind of samey.
Mm-hmm.
They're all sort of like the same, and they're sort of made to be boring when they really shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Like, people should be exploring how best to convey these ideas in a documentary format with talking heads and with all of these things, but do it creatively.
I mean,
which is kind of what Adam McKay did with things like The Big Short. And,
exactly.
I mean, you could have a really...
No, it's not really a documentary. So
you're good. You could have a really well put together script, but if it's not... If it doesn't carry well onto film, it's not going to be interesting for the audience. So if you don't know how to put a story together in that sort of way, in the filmic, cinematic elements of it, it's not going to be interesting.
That's what the whole argument about the Harry Potter movies is which it's not which one is the best adapted movie, which one is the best movie.
His film Dunkirk, there's not that much dialogue, but the way he tells the story makes it so much more interesting. I mean, also you have editing, which is also how he tells the story, but the score is really well in that movie as well.
Yeah, and it's really interesting. I think Inception, I watched a sequence where they told it's like from like where the car chase sequence starts to where they wake up. And they tell it all in real time with like 4 different screens so that you can actually see what's going on in without the editing. Yeah. It's definitely interesting. And you could tell that he really thought this through. And that was I just think it's a really smart movie. And the other thing that gets me about this movie, I think part of the reason that I love it, is when I watched it for the second time, even though I basically knew what happened in the movie, it was like watching it for the first time. Yeah. And I think that's really the most important part. Is like, I think when you can have a film that captures what it's like to experience a film the first time in multiple viewings of it, I think that's the mark of a great film right there. So. Yeah. Sorry, do you have anything to say about
Only thing I would really add to this is that, I mean, you guys covered most of the points. I was just looking at the IMDb page and looking at how great a cast that Nolan
the cast is... Well, for one thing, Nolan just has a great cast, period. I think we talked about this when you were talking about Sunshine, but Cillian Murphy, who's gonna be like a recurring theme on our podcast.
First it was Nick Cage, now it's
but Cillian Murphy, he plays a side character basically.
He's barely in the movie.
I don't think you could say that much because he has like whole scenes in the movie.
Well, out of a 2 hour and 28 minute movie.
But like what little he does have, he really kills it, and you really like believe the whole character arc that his character has.
Yeah.
And it's actually a really clever way of telling that emotional story within this broader sense, is to like because any other filmmaker would look at Cillian Murphy's character and be like, that's the main character. No, that's not who the main character. The main character is Cobb, but Cillian Murphy is the one that they're like doing this to, and that's who like the successful plan, the triumph is. Oh, we performed Inception on, I don't remember, on Cillian Murphy, and
Robert Fisher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think that movie is incredibly clever.
A script that like you can just with like I think in the film, the script itself, you could analyze that, and anybody like different people who analyze that will come up with different theories and meanings for every different scene.
Yeah.
Which I think also goes for some of his other films like Interstellar, or
Memento,
Dunkirk, Memento.
The entire Dark Knight trilogy.
I actually was reviewing the script for Dark Knight, The Dark Knight over the summer, and it was man, was it? I compared it with the on-screen stuff.
Yeah,
and it was.
Yeah, the interrogation, the way that the interrogation scene is written is totally different from the way that Heath Ledger solves it.
The camera work in that scene is really well done.
Yeah.
So he like that's what I'm trying to say. A combination of both script writing and also really well done camera work to tell the story.
Yeah, Nolan definitely understands how to bring a script to life, and that I think that's like the sign of a great filmmaker.
Yeah. He's one of the best directors working today.
Oh yeah.
Which is why I want to see him make a James Bond movie. So.
Oh man.
Yeah,
James Bond, Star Wars.
I legitimately think that like the Star Wars thing is like a pipe dream for me. I legitimately think we could get a Christopher Nolan.
I think a James Bond film would be.
Yeah, from what I've heard, the Bond producers are like actively trying to get him to do one.
I think he should really try.
I think like when you give great directors a franchise and then let them do their thing with it, because like the problem with the DCEU and especially with Man of Steel, BVS, and Justice League is that DC was trying to do their thing, and so they sort of stifled Zack Snyder.
They didn't do that at first. When Man of Steel was coming out, they just said, Snyder, do your thing.
Yeah.
And then
Man of Steel,
all that.
and then Man of Steel was met with like sort of iffy response. So they were like, "All right, we're gonna take control." So Zack Snyder didn't have anything left, and so now he's just being sort of stifled, and now we don't even know if he's still gonna be a part of this.
Exactly.
But
I wonder where they get their money to make those, like to keep making movies.
These movies make
DC movies. Yeah,
Well, DC movies still make money.
They make money, but
they don't do big numbers.
Yeah,
they don't do big
but
numbers.
But when you let the Russo, like what Marvel did was they let the Russos do their thing. They just gave them guidelines basically, and so that's why the Winter Soldier is the best Marvel movie, is because they just sort of let the Russos tell their story.
Which is why I think with stuff like Star Wars and mainly the Disney-owned franchises, you don't get a whole lot of originality because they're like, this is the way we want to do it. You can do it however you want to do it as long as you hit A, B, C, and D.
Yeah.
Like you just got with Infinity War.
Yeah.
Like I love Infinity War, but I think for most of the time it was Marvel just said, hey, like Kevin Feige just came to the Russo brothers and said, okay, you can do it however you want, but these characters need to end up here, and it needs to make this amount of money, and it can't be over PG-13. It's like just like blanket like this is what you can't do.
Well, here's your script is basically what he handed them.
Which is why I think something with like the James Bond franchise has gone through so many different iterations and like that the image of Bond is so malleable that really Nolan could just take the Bond character and really do whatever he wants, and because every Bond movie is really in its own continuity with the exception of the Craig stuff, he could just go in, do whatever he wants, and the next one it could be a completely different director with no bearing on it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is why I think now, who knows what's gonna happen with Craig at this point? Like Daniel Craig's even gonna.
He's gone back and forth on that so many times. There's no way of.
But we know he's not doing Bond. I mean, we know not Craig, but like Christopher Nolan is not doing Bond's 25. We know Cary Joji Fukunaga is doing it, but maybe Bond's 26 when it comes out eventually.
That'd be cool.
Nolan.
It would be cool if they just did Bond as like, we'll just rotate directors, give them a chance to do fuck something else.
You know who I would be? Oh, who I think would be a really good Bond if they were to move to Bond. Idris Elba.
Oh yeah. Well,
So.
let's not go too much on Bond because
Yeah,
I might address it next
Yeah.
week.
Okay, yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
But-
Yeah, we'll talk more about Bond. Ahmad, for some reason, you wanted to talk about X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Yes. I want to talk about X-Men Origins Wolverine.
So this is the movie out of the Wolverine movies that I don't like.
Out of all three.
Yeah, out of all three, this is the one that I don't like. I like the Wolverine. Logan's really good. I don't like this movie.
See, I'm not going to even say it's a guilty pleasure.
It's
but
a guilty pleasure.
It is a guilty. It's one of my favorite opening sequences. That's for sure. Because
The opening titles are fantastic.
I think for the most part, people would agree that the opening titles are really well done. When it starts to get into the other stuff into the film, that's when it starts to get muddled out. But
Sure.
for the most part, I enjoyed it. I didn't like the ending though with Ryan Reynolds, but that's obvious.
I think my main thing with this film is the film could have been so much better.
Yeah.
But it's just like we talked about with DC. It's studio meddling.
Studio
Studio meddling.
It's like, hey, kids like Deadpool, put Deadpool in the movie.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
If they had just let Gavin Hood do his thing.
Yeah.
Also, because David Benioff was one of the screenwriters who also went on to later write Game of Thrones.
Oh, yeah.
Which is one of the greatest TV shows of all time. So if they had just let them do their thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a really good point.
That and the CGI is
the
not
CGI
good.
does not hold up probably.
The scene with him in the bathroom with the claws, looks like a video game.
Really? Oh
like,
my
it
god.
is terrible.
Yikes.
That and then
It's been a
obviously-
minute since I've seen it, so I can't. Really,
Like if you just look up like X-Men Origins Wolverine claws, they'll probably see the scene of where he's like, it's right after he gets the metal on his claws, and he's like clicking them together, and it just looks like. I only imagine on the set just Hugh Jackman standing there just like rubbing his knuckles together. Like it's the weirdest thing.
It really is the weirdest.
Yeah.
I did like who's the remind me of the look this up here real fast. So I did like I'm Sabretooth. I can't pronounce his name.
Liev Schreiber.
Yep,
I
Liev
think that's how you
Schreiber.
pronounce it.
Kingpin in the neck
Yeah.
in the Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah. I really liked him in the movie. I don't know. I don't think he was horrible.
I think most of the cast is really good.
Really,
I
really
question
well.
why they decided to put Will.i.am in the movie.
Yeah.
Like for the Black Eyed Peas, but other than
I don't
that,
know.
That was.
I mean, Ryan Reynolds was good.
Ryan
for
Reynolds
what
was
little he
good,
had.
but he was like.
He was just kind of there, though.
Well, he was there, but I think he was one of my favorite parts of the movie. Even though he doesn't look at it.
So his part.
He was okay. So
his
Ryan
when
Reynolds-
he became Deadpool is when it stops.
when they took his mouth away.
Yeah,
That was
when you take Ryan Reynolds' mouth away, you really take away.
And
Ryan
they made a
Reynolds.
joke about that in the movie too. But yeah.
yeah, like I think really he does a good. Now, granted, this being PG-13, he can't be the full Deadpool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But I think with the character, he actually is a pretty good PG-13 Deadpool.
Yeah.
Until they end up in the third act.
Yeah.
The third act version of him is not good. It also is completely out of left field. And like, why is he here?
Yeah.
Oh, very left field. I mean.
But yeah, the opening sequence with him is like it's pretty good.
It's like the you know when they're up in the elevator, all those like sort of
the banter in the elevator,
comments and banter and stuff. That was funny, and then they take his mouth away, obviously, and that's.
I also think it has a really good visual like style.
Yeah.
Like it looks cinematography wise, it looks good.
Yeah.
It's really the only things that I think are really bad about this, and like it's still one of those movies where I can watch it and enjoy myself.
Yeah.
It's not one that I'm dreading watching.
Yeah.
I have issues with it, but it's certainly not the worst comic book movie I've ever seen.
I agree with that.
I think
for the most, feel like the studio made a lot of mistakes, and then it also just felt so X-Men to me. That I guess that was sort of my thing. Is like when I watch Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, except for Logan, I sort of want the X-Men feel to still be there, and this movie just sort of felt grimy and icky, and I just didn't really like anybody except for Wolverine.
Okay.
So like, I don't know.
I do like really. I mean, the only things that I didn't like about this movie were really what they ended up doing to Deadpool and the CGI.
The CGI.
Yeah.
I think it's for the most part, it sticks pretty closely to the sort of obviously the origins of Wolverine and where he came
It
from.
completely doesn't mesh with the timeline at this point.
Oh,
But-
no,
Especially
this
that
point, no.
scene with Xavier at the end.
Oh no!
Oh yeah, the CG.
The
Oh,
CG to look younger.
Yikes!
Patrick Stewart.
Yeah.
That was
and
kind
that
of
scene
creepy.
with Scott Summers doesn't make any sense either.
So
I was
the problem is like I usually don't notice CGI
Yeah.
like
Well, when I
meddling
saw
with
it, yeah.
people.
Yeah.
I noticed it when I first
Oh, yeah.
saw Patrick Stewart in that movie, and I was like, oh
Yeah,
my
that is
goodness.
one of the worst like
Oh man!
De-aging.
scenes I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah! I mean, I would agree.
Like, and especially with now, granted, this is several years prior to when we would get these, but now that we have the technology, we've seen it in Civil War,
Yeah.
both Ant-Man movies,
Yeah.
and now in Captain Marvel, and even in Rogue One. It's like we have the technology to make it look good now. So if this movie came out now, especially in the golden age of
Marvel.
superhero movies in general,
Yeah.
right
Yeah.
now, I think it'd be really good.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So the budget for the film was 150 million, and it made back 373 million. So it did make back its money.
Yep. Sounds about right.
But not enough to continue with the sub franchise
Yeah.
they were doing.
Yeah. Were they? So I was actually going to ask
Yeah.
you. So was this supposed to be like a? Because
X-Men
I always
Origins.
viewed this as sort of standalone. I mean, when I first saw it, I was like, okay,
Yeah.
so is this?
It was clearly supposed to be the launch of X-Men Origins.
So where were they going to
colon
go?
blank.
Like where were they going to tell
There
the
was a
origin
Storm.
stories of?
This was never, I don't believe, ever officially confirmed, but Storm was one they talked about, and Magneto was another one they
Oh,
talked
wow.
about.
Oh man, I would have loved an Ian McKellen
Yeah.
Magneto movie.
So why did they?
That would have
Because
been
it
awesome.
clearly made back its money. So why did it?
I think it was mainly just due to the
whatever.
ratings
Yeah.
they got. I think, which also, I mean, originally First Class was a reboot until
Yeah.
in Days of Future Past they tightened it in.
Yeah.
Which was
it
it was a clever way of like sending off the old X-Men and bringing in the new X-Men.
like really with the name X-Men Origins Wolverine, it's clearly just a hey, this is our new branding title, and we're starting with Wolverine because he's the biggest.
Oh,
Yeah.
Because if it wasn't that, they would have just called it Wolverine or something.
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that.
Oh yeah.
And then they did 2012. They did the Wolverine.
2013.
Oh yeah.
2013.
That's
was
right.
Wolverine,
Yeah.
Which I really love that movie.
Yeah, I like that movie a
I
lot.
like it a lot. That being said, I have some slight issues with it.
Yeah, I haven't
The
rewatched
the
it.
first the first two acts are great. The third act is kind of
Yeah.
weak.
When it's mostly a character study, and then all of out in the middle of nowhere, just this giant metal Transformers looking thing comes out.
Yeah, the minute that Silver Samurai shows up, that movie sort
Well,
of
that was
falls
in the,
off
that was in the
tracks.
anime too. When I mentioned the anime in one of the episodes, that was
So let's stop on
X-Men
X-Men Origins Wolverine here.
So I mean, check it out.
I think we've gone a little long on this.
it hasn't aged well. Check it out for Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, Hugh Jackman's performance in it is great.
it's really good. Yeah, but
You've probably, our Marvel special, we kind of talked about this a little bit in there. So if you like Marvel stuff and hearing us talk about it, just go back to the Marvel special.
Also, Hugh Jackman, just watch Hugh Jackman.
We love Hugh Jackman.
So, Sawyer, I've never seen a Riddick movie, so you're
Okay.
going to have to explain this to me.
So most people watching the show, or I guess listening, probably haven't heard of this series. It's not very popular. However, I think it's a very original sci-fi series that is worth checking out.
Okay?
Oh yeah, I would agree.
I'm a big fan of Vin Diesel, despite the fact that not every movie he makes is great.
Yeah.
But I think he's an interesting guy, and that's how I found the series originally. It was when I was looking at his IMDb page as a Fast and Furious fan, as goofy as his movies are, and saw this stuff. And being the sci-fi nerd, the name, I'm like, ooh, cool, this looks sci-fi.
Yeah.
Looked at it, and there actually is a very, not long, but, substantial list of stuff within the Riddick universe.
Yeah.
They started off with, in 2000, there was the movie Pitch Black,
Yeah.
which originally was not even Riddick as the main character.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
He morphs into a primary character by the end of the story. He's certainly significant in the plot.
In Pitch Black, I believe he was the last to survive, or was the last survivor?
One of.
Yeah, one of the last survivors.
Actually, yeah, one of the last.
Yeah.
There's only... I don't want to spoil that because,
Oh, that's true.
it is technically a ripoff of Alien, a little bit, the first Pitch Black.
Oh yeah.
it's like if you took Alien and Aliens and merged it together.
Yeah.
A bunch of people get stranded on a planet, then they find out some kind of alien thing is hunting them.
Yeah.
There's more than one.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the first one. It's a good movie. It's not exactly the most original. Worth checking
Okay.
out. Also, it should be noted that there's a pack you can buy on Blu-ray now that's got every single part of the franchise, every like short film and film all together for like $20.
Oh, nice.
You can get it all, including the unrated cuts of both the second and third movie, but I'll get to that. Yeah, it's got a relatively unknown cast outside of Vin Diesel. Should also be noted that Vin Diesel was not really known before this movie.
Oh yeah.
He really only just had his role in Saving Private Ryan, and that was really
Yeah.
his only substantial thing.
Yeah.
So, you guys got any questions about Pitch Black?
I've seen it. I've seen it.
You've seen Pitch Black.
I have vague memories of the first one, seeing it on TV, parts of it, and then I think I came back and I saw the original one, and from what I saw, it looked really good. I mean, I remember that some of the sequences were kind of actually scary as a kid to watch.
No, I'm sure.
I watched Riddick when it came out, around when it came out. I didn't see it in theaters. I saw it on DVD rental.
Yeah.
And
There's
I
one
liked
in
it.
between. Are you talking about the 2013 one?
no, it's a 2013 Riddick, not the Chronicles of.
Yeah.
But Riddick, the 2013 one. I have to specify that,
Oh, yeah.
clarify. That was I liked it. It was, I mean, even though it wasn't critically well received, I enjoyed it. I found the story fascinating.
Yeah.
Um,
The third one, it very much goes back to basics of the series.
Oh yeah, and it expands on the world itself in a way, right? From
Like,
what I recall.
You get to see more. Like the one that expands the world the most is definitely Chronicles of Riddick.
Okay.
It's a lot more of a bigger film. It's almost like it tries to be a space opera,
Oh.
but it goes way too big for the scale of what Pitch Black was.
Okay.
It's not a bad film. The unrated cut is actually pretty good. I always say most of the time, spring for the unrated cut, because usually it adds in more plot.
Yeah.
Like, I say the same thing about Batman vs. Superman.
Yeah.
and
Oh
all
yeah.
that.
I still have to
Watchmen.
see Bay Eyes.
Yeah.
But
The Riddick Chronicles of Riddick extended cut,
yeah.
worth checking out.
Mhm.
But the extended cut for Riddick 2013 doesn't really add anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is Vin Diesel's start, basically?
Basically, yeah, because Pitch Black was 2000 and The Fast and the Furious was 2001.
Okay.
It's interesting.
For some reason, I thought he was a WWE star.
Oh, that's
Dave
Bautista.
Bautista is, and Dave
That's
Bautista,
Dave
is
Bautista,
in
okay.
the third Riddick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
It's interesting, they go-
So like all of these actors who were WWE stars are just meshing in my head.
Bautista. I mean, he's also in the Marvel. He's also in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah.
Should also be noted that other things that people don't know a lot about with Riddick that are actually part of the franchise. So there's Pitch Black is the first
Yep.
movie, and then there's a 30-minute, well, roughly 30-minute, straight to DVD anime called Chronicles of Riddick: Dark Fury, and it bridges
Okay.
the gap between Pitch Black and the Chronicles of Riddick.
Was that?
Oh,
have
okay,
you
that's
seen
cool.
that? Was
I've
that
seen
good?
it. It's animated by Peter Chung,
Oh.
who's of Eon Flux.
Yeah.
fame.
Yeah.
It's really good. It's actually kind of better than the Chronicles of Riddick movie. It's not really a substantial story, but the animation looks really good.
Interesting.
Okay, that's cool.
And it kind of sets up where characters are in Chronicles of Riddick.
Okay. So like it's not as like daunting or jarring type stuff. So.
There was also, almost nobody knows this exists, but there was a TV movie in 2000 that aired on Sci-Fi called Chronicles of Riddick Into Pitch Black, and it really only exists as a, here, it was really a special to promote the movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Saying these are who the characters are.
Yeah.
I never watched that because there was no official DVD
Like release
Yeah.
event. Yeah.
or there was no official release. It just aired on Sci-Fi.
Yeah.
However, that's the only thing that's not been officially released. You've got after Pitch Black and Dark Fury and Chronicles of Riddick, then we had Riddick, and then on the Blu-ray release of Riddick, there was a motion comic that was about 6 minutes called Riddick Blindsided,
Oh. Wow.
which bridges the gap between Chronicles of Riddick and Riddick.
I always appreciate a good motion comic.
And it's basically that, I would say, if you're a Riddick fan or binging the movies, you do not want to skip out on the motion comic, because you'd be like, wait a minute, how did Riddick get here, and who, and why, and how? Like, you're not
Yeah.
gonna,
I do have to say though, I forgot about the series until you reminded me of it earlier today, and from what I remember, they were enjoyable. I mean, I didn't. They weren't like, obviously, like you said, they you could tell that they're kind of ripped off somewhere, but like for what it is, they try to take more of an original spin on it, and it definitely shows.
I also do like franchises that will take their ideas and their the core of the franchise and do like an anime or a motion comic or something like that. Try to do something different, like in a different medium.
In this case, I do say that, I mean, it's kind of harsh to say that they're ripping off Alien, because I don't know that for sure, but there are some similar elements. I mean, but for the most part,
the one it's definitely most similar to is Alien.
Well, but Alien is sort of a film-defining movie, it's like everything is sort of ripping off of Alien at some point.
So some influences are there, but for the most part, I appreciated like Sire said, the originality of Riddick.
It's definitely like, if you got the extra cash, because I mean, I think I found it to be cheaper just to buy these all in the Blu-ray pack than it is to buy them online, because they're not streaming anywhere. Yeah. At least the last time I checked, they weren't.
Yeah.
So it's worth a pickup if you're a sci-fi fan. Some of them are better than others. If you're also, don't watch if you're squeamish, because there is certainly a level of violence in this series.
Oh yeah.
The acting can be cheesy at some times.
Oh man, yeah.
But yeah, it's worth checking out. And also, last bit I want to mention. Yeah, well, two last bits I want to mention. One, there was a game for the original Xbox called Chronicles of Riddick, Butcher Bay, and then a sequel for the Xbox 360 and PS3 called Assault on Dark Athena. The PS3 game has the campaign of Butcher Bay completely remastered and included with every copy. So if you got a PS3 lying around, pick that up, play the games, because they're actually considered some of the best movie tie-in games of all time.
Oh wow,
neat! Wow.
And then they also, I doubt it's going to happen. If it does, it'll happen in a long time. But they've been talking about a TV show. Like, apparently when they announced this, it was just a Facebook video of Vin Diesel dancing to some song and saying, like, we're doing Riddick 4 and there's going to be a TV show. And then Fox was, it was Universal's like, no we aren't.
Oh my god.
That's funny.
It's going to be called, like, Furia. I doubt the movie's going to happen. And then the TV show called, like, Merc City or Slam City or something. I doubt it.
Yeah.
Yeah, check it out. Yeah. It's worth checking out.
I do want to see a well-written story based around the world of Riddick, but that's just
so I'm looking at our timestamp. We have time for bonus topic. I have something in mind, but if you guys have a bonus topic in mind, by all means run them by me.
Well, let's hear what you want to talk about.
All right, so I've been playing a game called Nier Automata.
Oh, I know this one.
I don't know if you've played it.
I've not played it, but I know of it.
So this game is directed by Yoko Taro, who's been at Square Enix for what? I don't even know how long he's been at Square Enix. But he's been sort of in his own corner at Square Enix, sort of just doing his thing with whatever crap development team they throw at him. Yeah. And I was watching a video, and they were saying that the reason that his games never really got that much attention were that they were developed by sort of not great development teams, and so the gameplay was really never that good. And I saw some clips of the Drakengard games, and I was like, this does not look good. This does not look optimized at all. So, Nier Automata, I haven't finished it yet, but it's a crazy game, and it has you start the game, spoilers I guess, and you're playing. It's sort of business as usual, and then halfway through the game, there's this pretty like emotional moment, and then it goes, produced by Square Enix. And I was like, wait, I've just been playing the opening credits of this game the entire time. But and like it launches into this sequence where it does like the opening credits thing, and I was like, what are you doing right now?
Like, I watched the trailer for that game, and I also watched the Honest trailer, I've seen so much of that and looked at it, and I still have no idea what the game is even about.
And honestly, I don't know if I can tell you what the game is about. Like
I definitely want to play it. I just have no clue.
I would definitely recommend it, but like you can't go in expecting anything, because all of your expectations are going to be outdone. Because the whole thing around the movie the game is there has been the backstory is like it's far in the future, and aliens at some point had come to Earth and invaded, took over, and to fight the war they created machine life forms, and meanwhile the humans had created androids, which are more human-like. So the machines sort of take over Earth, and the androids are fighting in a space station on the moon, I think.
Yeah.
And
it sounds like it's just a hodgepodge of just a bunch of sci-fi stuff.
Yeah.
Just like,
yeah. Oh, and it definitely is. And so, but while the machines have been on Earth, they've been absorbing human information, and so now they start to like adopt human tendencies, and so they sort of create whole cultures. And like you go to this one area and it's the Forest Kingdom, and the machines are trying to protect the Forest King. There's a whole segment. Spoilers. I'm just gonna spoil everything I've played through up until this point. There's a whole segment where the machines have adopted religion, like a form of religion, but then you find out that the only thing that they really got was human sacrifice. And so they're like,
Okay.
and it's really interesting. It's also, it will make you have an existential crisis. So don't go, if you can't handle having an... Yeah. So really just don't go into the game thinking like if you can't handle an existential crisis.
And this is made by Platinum.
Yeah.
Right?
So Square Enix went to Platinum and they were like, "Hey, Yoko Taro wants to make another game. Please make this a good game." So I don't see I don't see Yoko Taro not doing another game with Platinum at this point, mostly because of the success of Nier Automata. And the other thing I wanted to say about this is we were talking about in Inception, we were talking about how it definitely explores like the craft of filmmaking more than
Storytelling.
the craft of storytelling. I think this game, while it does explore the craft of storytelling in a lot of ways, it definitely explores the craft of game development. Because it does some really interesting things because you're playing as an android. Mm-hmm. It does some really interesting things with like skills and like how weapons operate, and there's a way that you can there's a way that you can die by going into your skill menu, and you have this like OS chip equipped, and it says if you unequip it, you will die. But there's also this idea of you can like disable your HUD by unequipping the skills, because they sort of make it part of the character that you're playing as has these things equipped. So if you take away your health gauge, sure, you have a little bit more space for more skills, but you can't see your health gauge anymore. Oh. And it does some really interesting things with that. And then if you unequip the OS chip, then you just die. So I think the game is really clever in that aspect, and I think the story is really crazy. And again, if you can't handle crazy, then I don't know if you should play this game.
Especially any Platinum game, really.
Yeah. But I think the characters are also really good too. Like, it's got some really great character writing, and the voice acting is top notch. Yeah. So.
Well, yeah. This is one. We got time for me to mention one more thing.
Yeah, do it.
So
we'll go until an hour, and then we'll do the rest of it.
Pretty soon. This is probably. I mean, this might as well be a new segment on the show called Sawyer's Genre Corner. We're going to talk about obscure sci-fi fantasy stuff, and there's just two. I guess I can merge them in there. Like two obscure sci-fi movies that I just quickly wanted to mention. One kind of goes off of Riddick,
Yeah.
And then one is just like, hey, this is cool. You guys should check it out.
Give me like a minute on each.
So, Event Horizon. You guys ever heard of it?
Actually, I have, yeah.
I know what an Event Horizon is, but not this series.
It came out in 1997. Basically, the basic plot, according to IMDb, is a rescue crew investigates a spaceship that disappeared into a black hole and has now returned, and with something or someone now on board.
So the
Alien
original
2.
so the first Star Trek reboot ripped this movie off, is what you're saying.
Well, this starts off as just a, we're a space movie. We're just kind of like, it's a good time.
Yeah.
And then it slowly descends into one of the strangest, most slightly disgusting, more than slightly, kind of. I don't even know what I watched when I saw this.
I'm looking at some of the screenshots and it's wow.
I had never seen this movie before. It's gross. It's also kind of horrifying. All I saw was like, hey, Lawrence Fishburne and Sam Neill, and it's a sci-fi movie of like, I hear people talking about it. I might as well pick up the DVD.
What do I know Lawrence Fishburne from?
Matrix.
Oh, Matrix. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Interesting.
sorry.
Alien looks like Hellraiser.
Well, yeah, that's the thing we get to. It's not really it's very similar to Alien.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's not really. Well, okay. Spoilers. It's not an alien. So they say the ship, when it went into a black hole, it ended up in another dimension, and that other dimension was hell.
Oh.
Whoa.
And so apparently it's like some kind of energy or force or something comes back with the ship, and the ship itself is trying to kill the people.
Yeah.
So it's not like there's an actual creature stalking them. It's just their fears and anxiety and just the ship messing with them.
Interesting.
And then it'll take over the bodies, and eventually Sam Neill's character, who lost his wife before the movie started, is goes nuts and tries to kill, I think it was Lawrence Fishburne. And it's that whole scene, and the MPAA forced him to cut some of the scenes of when he grabs Lawrence Fishburne's head and gives him visions of hell because it was so gross the MPAA wouldn't let them keep the footage.
Wow.
It's really, and the quick glimpses you get just make you squirm.
Wow. It's
gross.
an hour and 37 minutes. Wow.
Yeah, I think if you can deal with horror, because it's not really like a horror film in the sense of something like Halloween or Friday the 13th.
Yeah. Wow.
It's just something that really unsettles you.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it is so genuinely creative in the way they pull this off.
Yeah.
The fact that you go into this thinking, oh, I'm just going to be a ripoff of Alien, and then you realize there's not actually a thing chasing them. It's really more a metaphor for them being stranded out there alone and their fear and anxiety just keying in on them.
As interesting as that premise sounds, I want to say the budget and box office. So budget was $60 million. The box office return was $26.7 million. So
it
sounds about
very
right.
much flopped. It's not a movie for mass consumption.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's general audiences. Well, first of all, not general audiences being ours, so you're not going to have a mass amount of people going to see this.
Yeah.
It's a deep cut, existential sci-fi horror film with slightly religious undertones.
And a pretty good cast.
And a pretty good cast.
Does the CGI hold up or any other special effects?
I mean, they're not.
Is it not
bad?
Yeah.
It's mostly practical.
Interesting. Which is always better.
Yeah. There are some brief outer space scenes which are. I mean, they still look serviceable.
It's from '97.
Yeah. They're not bad. It just it services the plot.
Yeah.
Now it's been a little while since I watched it, so I don't necessarily remember all of the characters.
Okay.
But yeah, I just remember brief bits and thinking Pitch Black was sort of a sci-fi horror film, but it wasn't really scary.
Yeah.
It's just a cheesy kind of sci-fi movie. If you were looking for a sci-fi horror film, this isn't really a Alien style one. It's just one that's going to make you unsettled. I think if you can handle it, it's worth checking out. It's certainly not the best movie ever made, and the Metacritic score being 35%. I don't think it deserves a 35%.
Okay.
It's much better than that. I think it's very subjective. I wouldn't necessarily call the movie good.
Good.
Air quotes, people who could yeah. But it's definitely a movie where, like, you haven't seen anything like it before.
Okay.
Yeah.
So-
And then, briefly with the last seconds I got left, if you like animation movies, check out the movie Titan AE. I like the movie, but I don't really have enough to talk about it as a subject
As, like, a
on the
topic?
podcast. So,
Okay.
Titan AE came out in 2000. It's an animated movie from Fox. I think Don Bluth directed it.
Okay.
Almost nobody saw it. It's got Matt Damon doing the voice of the lead character. It's not really a kids movie despite being animated in PG. It's kind of essentially, it's a little bit of a Star Wars ripoff, but
Okay.
it's worth checking out. Yeah.
Nice.
And if
Ahmad?
your kids aren't old enough to see Star Wars,
Yeah.
show them Titan AE.
Ahmad, last chance. You want to talk about something before we launch into
Yeah.
our broad discussion?
I am good. I'm good.
All right. That was a little on the spot thing for you guys. I figured we were only at 50 minutes, and we were like, this
We'll
might
have to
go
do
short.
more of that, or just like, hey,
Yeah.
if we
Yeah.
if we're under the time limit, just go ahead and start randomly.
All right, we're good. All right, Game Awards. Let's go.
Okay, so
So this is our Game Award. I'm handing it off to Sawyer. This is our Game Awards pre-show. Next week we'll run down who won. We'll maybe do like a segment of like, oh, here are the cool announcements,
Here are the
stuff
upsets,
like that.
something like that.
Yeah,
if there are any.
yeah, we'll talk about that. So
Okay,
let's get this party started.
basically, you might be thinking it's a little early for award season, considering usually January and February are when a lot of the movie and TV stuff happens.
Yeah.
But for gaming, most of the time the major games are kind of already out by this season.
Except this year, Smash isn't out yet.
Smash
so-
Brothers Ultimate is really the only thing that's not
Yeah.
out that I can think of at the moment.
I think that's true. So it would win fighting game of the year.
Oh, if it was out, it'd probably.
Like I know what's going to win fighting game of the year, and I know that Smash would win.
Yeah.
So
The Game Awards are slowly becoming the video game equivalent of the Oscars and the Emmys. They're not as, I guess, esteemed yet. I'd still say the Game Developers Conference is probably still the...
Well, and it doesn't really have as much of an award ceremony. Not as much of one.
Yeah.
So it's not as high profile either. So.
Basically, what I would say this show is like, forget the Spike Video Game Awards. Like, this is what you want to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Also, Jeff Keighley is a gift
Yeah.
to video games.
Last Game Awards 2017, I was surprised by how professional it was.
Yeah.
It was,
Like, I didn't watch it when it aired because I was like, why would I watch the Game Awards? It's just going to be another Spike thing again.
Yeah,
I don't wanna watch
yeah.
this. And then I heard such positive things. Well, I'm actually going to watch this one.
Which really speaks to where gaming is going in general.
Yeah,
and
like
how-
it's
how
starting to
serious-
actually get respect.
Yeah,
Which is,
which is really good to see.
So let's get started with the categories and the nominees.
So our first category is Best Esports Game. I should also note I'm only going to be going over the categories that relates to video games. I'm going to skip
People.
esports, like basically the people, unless it's performance.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Best Esports Game, the nominees are CS:GO or Counter-Strike Go, Dota 2, Fortnite, League of Legends, and Overwatch.
So I'm gonna say there's a shot that Fortnite wins every category it's nominated in. I do think there's an outside chance that Overwatch wins esports.
There is an outside chance, but for the most part, I think it's Fortnite.
I think you're right. I just think Overwatch has more recognition as a competitive game though.
Yeah.
So it's like Fortnite is very casual.
If we're
so.
looking at recognition of competitive games, I would definitely say CS:GO.
Yeah, CS:GO. I think it's like CS:GO, Overwatch, or Fortnite.
CS:GO is very competitive, but
I think Fortnite is definitely going to win in a category we're going to talk about later.
Yeah.
But I don't think Fortnite's going to win like esports game because I see that more just a game that everybody's playing, but not as a sport kind of.
Yeah, I think it's Overwatch or CS:GO actually.
I think it's Fortnite. Yeah,
I think there's a chance that Fortnite sweeps every category it's in. I just don't know if that's actually going to happen.
Come on, we got a Word document open or a document?
Oh, yeah, well, I have this.
Oh, okay. I was going to say we should run a prediction.
Okay,
Next week we'll see who's right and who's wrong.
Oh
Okay.
man, I can do that.
Could we?
Yeah, I'll do that. I have a Word document. I have the Cate-Cast agenda open, so we can. So let's hold on one second while I open my computer.
Just to note, we'll probably do the same thing with the Academy Awards if we have.
And maybe the Emmys.
The Emmys, yeah.
The Emmys are way lower profile.
They're pretty.
I also don't watch the Academy Awards or the
The
Emmys.
Golden
I will let
Globes
you
more
know,
so.
just out of principle, I will not be watching the Academy Awards.
Oh.
But I will definitely be looking at. I will be predicting
Okay.
who will
okay.
win, and I will definitely talk about the winners.
Okay.
I just refuse to watch the
Oh,
show.
okay.
So
What the
best
Golden Globes? Do you watch the
esports.
Golden Globes?
I don't really watch any of the
Game.
movie
Any-
award
yeah.
shows, just because I know
Sire.
exactly how it's going to
Oh
go
yeah,
every year.
yeah.
Sire, what do you think best esports game is going to win?
And it's going to be Overwatch.
Fortnite.
Overwatch?
Oh, you're gonna do this for us?
Yeah,
Okay.
Ahmad,
Fortnite.
Fortnite. And I think it's going to be CSGO.
Okay.
CS. Go. I'm kind of just deciding that on a whim. But anyways, we'll...
So, we ready for the next category?
Yeah.
Oh, and we're gonna have to talk more about what was I just making?
Oh, the Golden Globes.
Oh, we'll talk about that.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
So the next category, best debut indie game.
Oh,
Best debut indie game.
So we have the nominees being Donut County, Florence, Moss, The Messenger, and Yoku's Island Express.
I have no predictions because I've played none of those.
I believe it'll be Florence.
I have not played any of these. That being said, my prediction, I'm gonna come out of left field here and say Moss. Because
I'm gonna agree with Ahmad and think that Florence is looks sort of charming, and
the reason why I go with Moss is because I mean, obviously, if it's going to be nominated, the reviews are good. But everybody's saying if you're getting a PlayStation VR, pick this game up.
Interesting.
oh, okay,
So
I can see that.
That's a good
Just
thing.
There is a VR category though, right?
I think so. I don't think Moss is in it.
Yeah,
but-
so we'll see.
So next category is best student game. Now I can tell you right now, probably none of us have played these.
Oh no.
We've not played these, and this one is being helmed by a panel of directors.
Mhm.
So this isn't
So this
a
isn't-
category that people can vote
Audience
on.
can vote. Oh, yeah.
But I will just go ahead and run down them anyway, because I mean these students were
Yeah.
covered on them. So I'll
Yeah,
mention them.
give them the recognition.
Combat 2018. I'm gonna also list. No, I'm not listing the studios with the others, but
Yeah.
list the schools or what they're going
Yeah.
to here. Combat 2018 from Inland Norway University of Applied Sciences, obviously in Norway. Dash Quasar Kesar from UC Santa Cruz. Jera from DigiPen Bilbao, Spain. Sure I pronounced that wrong. Lif from IceArt Digital in France. And then Charge from MIT.
I think Recharge is the kind of game that would win. Just based on the title alone.
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
would
go ahead and
probably
say-
go into that.
I'm gonna go ahead and take the left field option and go Jira.
Yeah.
Jira.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's keep
So
going.
our next category, I'm sure we're all three going to agree on what's probably going to win this one.
Okay.
But best multiplayer game.
Oh yeah, best multiplayer. Fortnite. Yeah.
So I think we'll all agree Fortnite is going to probably win that. Not because I necessarily think it is the best one, just because I know how.
What
popular
are
it
the
is.
other ones?
Well, we got Call of Duty Black Ops 4,
People really like that, so outside chance.
Destiny 2 Forsaken,
No way that happens.
Fortnite, Monster Hunter World,
That one also has an outside chance.
and Sea of Thieves.
No chance.
Monster Hunter. I didn't know Monster Hunter was by Capcom. That's interesting.
It's between Monster Hunter, Black Ops, and Fortnite is gonna win.
Sea of Thieves has no chance. It will not win. I don't know why it's even nominated.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Destiny 2, I know there's people who are diehards for that game,
Yeah.
but
There's no way.
Yeah.
It's too controversial.
I think it's mostly going to be Fortnite with a slight chance of maybe Black Ops 4 or Monster Hunter. I think it's a given
Yeah.
though. It's going to be
Yeah.
Fortnite.
No.
Yeah, I think there's no way. So let's keep moving.
Next category, we got best sports/racing game. These are your usual suspects: FIFA 19, Forza Horizon 4, Mario Tennis Aces, NBA 2K19, and then Pro Evolution Soccer 2019.
So I'm
gonna say.
so go ahead.
I'm gonna say 2K19.
I'm gonna say.
I was gonna say Forza, but 2K19 is.
Honestly,
I'm gonna say FIFA.
I think we're gonna be wrong, dude. 'Cause I'm gonna say Forza Horizon 4. It could just be because I see the commercial every other time I open my phone.
And then Forza for you, sire. Forza. All right.
Also, Forza's the only one I would play out of all these.
That's true.
I'm tempted to say Mario, but nobody really liked that game. I just think that the Game Awards, if given the option, would give a Nintendo Game of the Year.
Yeah.
That's all I'm thinking. But
So,
anyways,
best strategy game:
Ooh.
The Banner Saga 3, BattleTech, Frostpunk, Into the Breach, and Valkyria Chronicles 4.
Valkyria
Yeah,
wins.
that's what I'm.
Valkyria Chronicles 4. Chronicles 4.
Yeah. People love that series too much. Keep
I need
going.
to play that eventually.
I was gonna say Battle.
Yeah, I need to play the Valkyria series.
Best family game. I think this is probably going to be a little more simple. Mario Tennis Aces, Nintendo Labo, Overcooked 2, Starlink Battle for Atlas. I have no idea why that's nominated. And Super Mario Party.
Super Mario Party.
Yeah, that's what I'm betting on too.
I mean, here's the thing. I
Yeah.
don't know if anybody really
There's
likes
no way
the Nintendo
Nintendo's
Labo.
going to be nominated
Yeah.
in the family category and not win.
Not one.
Yeah.
Nintendo,
It has like 4 nominations there too.
Yeah, they have 3 out of the entire category as theirs.
Yeah.
And then Starlink has
an
Star
Nintendo character
Fox
in
in
it,
it.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Starlink. I'm surprised it even got nominated. That game flopped on release.
I think people like it though.
Yeah, I'm just surprised to see it on here, considering a lot of these nominations are popular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird to see something like that.
So
It's weird to see Labo.
onwards and forwards.
Next one, best fighting game.
Oh man.
Dragon Ball Fighters.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess with that one too. But the nominees are Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle,
Good game, not gonna win.
Dragon Ball Fighters,
Gonna win.
Soul Calibur 6,
Haven't played it.
and the Street Fighter 5 Arcade Edition.
Not gonna win.
How many editions of Street Fighter 5 are there?
That's actually only the second edition.
Okay, because I see.
There was a season pass.
Oh, okay, that's what it was.
It does the season pass thing. This is a whole different edition. So.
That's where it seems like every year there's a Street Fighter game coming out.
Yeah.
So the reason I say Dragon Ball Fighters is gonna win is
I don't
it's
know,
definitely the fighting game that's had the most impact.
Soul Calibur. I've heard a lot about that.
Dude, this game, Dragon Ball Fighters, was the most viewed game at EVO, which is crazy because EVO is a Street Fighter tournament. So
Okay. Dragon Ball Fighters then.
yeah, it's Dragon Ball Fighters. There's no way Dragon Ball Fighters doesn't win.
Next one, best role playing game. Oh, we already did best role playing game. Why
Nope.
is it listed twice?
There was strategy.
Oh, strategy. That's what it was. Okay, best role playing game.
Oh man.
We've got Dragon Quest 11. I think it's 11. Yeah,
Yeah.
11. Echoes of an Elusive Age.
What I've played of it is alright.
Monster Hunter World.
Not for me.
Ni no Kuni 2 Revenant Kingdom.
It's alright.
Octopath Traveler.
That's gonna win.
What I played with it was alright.
And Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire.
Never
Octopath.
I think Octopath wins.
Yeah, Octopath's probably going to take it. I think that Pillars of Eternity might have had a chance, but then with Obsidian being bought up by Microsoft, I don't know.
that's right.
I also think Octopath is the kind of game that would win.
Oh
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Also, got to keep in mind, these are being publicly voted on online.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you got to keep in mind the popularity. And
Yeah.
That's true. We might be wrong about Octopath, but it's
mean-
okay. It's okay.
Next one, best action adventure game.
This is where we start to get a bit of a sweep
This
going
is gonna
on.
be
Yeah, so the nominees are Assassin's Creed Odyssey, haven't played it yet. God of War.
Oh man, this is gonna be hard.
I want to play God of War so bad.
Yeah.
Marvel's Spider-Man.
Really like it.
Well, such an amazing game.
Yeah.
Red Dead Redemption 2. And Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
You guys said you guys got to keep in mind the audience, and I mean, Marvel Spider-Man is pretty popular.
So
That is true.
I think you're right. I just think Red Dead wins everything. That's my thing.
I'm gonna go ahead and say Marvel Spider-Man.
Ahmad thinks Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Now, I think if we're talking in terms of what should win, honestly, I think God of War would take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think what will win, which
Is
I'm going to
Red
guess, is Red Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Red Dead.
You guys are gonna do that. I gotta offer the
That being said,
controversial.
though, I know it's going to shock people with how much we talked about Spider-Man last week. I still love that game. I'm just being realistic here. It's a Rockstar game.
But yeah, Rockstar just makes Game Awards bait.
Yeah.
That's what they make.
Like, there's not going to be ever a time where Rockstar puts out a game and it doesn't win at least an award. Rockstar
Yeah.
Table Tennis still won awards.
Yeah.
Like,
You know what? Last year Nintendo won for Breath of the Wild, and they also went on. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be Red Dead, but I'm gonna keep my answer Marvel
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay, next category.
Just prepare to be wrong.
I know. I'm already prepared for it.
So,
Alright.
best action game.
Weird. Okay.
Yeah, it says like they had action, adventure, and then just straight up action. Apparently, but
I think it's probably like differentiating between
Full
just
on
like
action.
open world action games
Oh.
and just like linear,
straight
more
up, like,
linear
combat games.
because Mega Man 11 is.
Yep, Mega
So
Man.
we've got Call of Duty Black Ops 4, Dead Cells, Destiny 2 Forsaken,
I don't know.
Far Cry 5,
That's
and
not-
Mega Man 11.
We'll say Mega Man.
I'm gonna go out on a left field and say that Dead Cells is gonna win.
Honestly, I was gonna do the same thing. I was gonna say I've heard a lot of buzz about that game.
Really?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
thinking Dead Cells might have a shot.
Is Mega Man 11 good?
Yeah, I mean it's good, but I don't know if it's game of the year. Like I don't know if it's a
Mark me down as
winner,
Dead Cells,
award
then.
winner. Yeah.
That being said, I will mention it here. I wouldn't be surprised if we get during this category that it's already sort of known. Like Far Cry 5 wins, and then we get the trailer for whatever the next Far Cry thing is. Because they already announced that we're getting a reveal of the next Far Cry at the Game Awards.
Oh wow.
So
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. But they'll probably
Maybe.
just show that because Ubisoft's going to be there regardless. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Next category.
Oh,
we have
man.
best VR/AR game. Astrobot Rescue Mission, Beat Saber, Firewall 0 Hour, Moss, and Tetris Effect.
Beat Saber wins.
I'm gonna say because you said Moss was people recommended it
Yeah.
whatever, but I want to say
Beat Saber.
Yep.
It's Beat Saber.
Yeah.
There's no way. Beat Saber is way too big.
Yeah, Beat Saber.
Beat Saber.
Yeah, Firewall 0 looks cool, but I haven't.
I want to say
don't know what
Tetris
that
Effect,
is.
but Tetris Effect is.
I mean, Tetris has been around.
These predictions should be the most realistic we can give.
Yeah.
Because, and I'm just thinking like Beat Saber is way too well known for it to not win, especially if people are voting on it.
Yeah, as much as like a lot of these categories are things like, hey, this is what I want to win, but I know it won't.
Yeah. So
Now this next category, I'm sure I refuse to play games on this platform, but it's mobile games. Donut County, Florence, Fortnite, PUBG Mobile, and then Reigns Game of Thrones.
Fortnite.
Fortnite.
Yeah, Fortnite.
Yeah, Fortnite.
Okay, that was easy. Next category is best indie game.
Oh man.
Wait, we already.
Or
Oh, best debut indie was okay.
Yeah.
Best.
This is gonna be for me.
So, yeah,
Dead Cells.
yeah.
Celeste for me.
So it's Celeste, Dead Cells, Into the Breach,
Oh, actually, yeah, Celeste.
Return of Obra Dinn, and The Messenger.
Yeah, Celeste. Wait, I didn't see that one.
Are we consensusing around Celeste?
Hold on.
Honestly, I'm gonna go
I'm
out of left field here and say Obra Dinn.
Oh, how do you spell that?
Obradinn.
And then the two of us think it's Celeste.
Yeah, I think it's Celeste.
Celeste.
Though I do think that Dead Cells has a shot at winning. I
Yeah.
just don't think it will.
I just don't see people love Celeste too much, man. I just don't see.
Hmm?
Don't see it.
So games for impact, which the specifically meaning with a pro-social meaning. or
Oh,
message.
okay.
like best social impact game.
Yeah.
Which I'm surprised to see as a category. Celeste, 11/11 Memories Retold. Looks like is that a World War One game?
Probably.
Florence, Life is Strange 2, Episode 1.
Oh, that throws things off.
The Missing, J.J. Macfield and the Island of Memories. Yeah, that's
I want to say Florence.
I'm gonna say Celeste
yeah, this is the category we go with Celeste on.
and Sawyer.
You know what? 'Cause
So-
the thing problem is I keep going back to the popularity thing, and I think Celeste is more popular.
So are we just
I'm gonna
all
keep
Celeste?
I'm gonna keep Florence.
Okay, Ezra and Sawyer, Celeste, Ahmad, Florence.
Okay. So our next category we have is best performance.
All right.
So specifically, I know I said we weren't doing people, but this is related to the actual
Yeah.
games. So,
I can, yeah.
so best performance, we have Brian Deckard as Connor in Detroit Become Human.
Oh man.
Christopher Judge as Kratos in God of War. Melisanthe Mahut as Cassandra in Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Not gonna win.
Roger
Sorry.
Clark as Arthur Morgan in Red Dead Redemption 2. And Yuri Lowenthal as Peter Parker
So,
in Marvel Spider-Man.
so I want Yuri Lowenthal to win,
As do I.
It's
but
gonna be Roger Clark. No,
I'm
it's gonna be
you
Yuri.
know what? I'm gonna
saying-
say Yuri Lowenthal is gonna win. Are you saying that?
Yeah, I'm gonna say Yuri.
I think because he embodies Spider-Man so much, and so many people appreciate that, I can see him winning.
I think he's got a shot. I think Roger Clark has got a shot because of Red Dead. But
Oh.
Oh, he's gonna go controversial here.
I'm going to go with Christopher Judge as Kratos.
Okay.
Just because that voice is such an iconic video game voice that I just can't not go with Kratos.
All right. So
Kratos is such a cool character.
I like your pick. We'll see.
Okay.
And I think we'll all be disappointed if Red Dead wins that one.
Oh yeah. Best audio design presented by Dolby.
Best a Dolby. Wait.
Dolby.
Best Dolby. I'm just that's what I'm putting down here. Best Dolby.
Presented by Toby.
Call of Duty Black Ops 4.
Or
Forza Horizon 4. God of War. Marvel Spider-Man. And Red Dead Redemption 2.
Red Dead.
is sound design including score?
No.
No, it's
No.
Red Dead.
Red Dead.
I was gonna say Forza, but Spider-Man 2 has a pretty good.
I'm tempted to say Forza 2, but I think it's Red Dead.
I mean, some of these are all... I'm going to go God of War.
Oh, okay. I mean, I think God of
Sawyer
War has a chance too.
thinks God of War
He thinks
has
God of
a
War.
chance.
Little does Sawyer know.
I mean, I know Red Dead's probably going to get it, but, like, God of War, it's got a chance. I mean,
Okay,
that
so-
noise when the hammer comes
I
down...
literally have best Dolby, Red Dead, Sawyer thinks God of War has a chance.
So the next category is what you were talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, best score / music presented by Spotify.
Best Spotify, I guess, is what we're talking about. Then. Best Spotify.
So
Let's
we've
go.
got Celeste, God of War, Marvel Spider-Man, Ni no Kuni 2, Revenant Kingdom, Octopath Traveler, and Red Dead Redemption 2.
Octopath. Oh, wait, hold on. Don't mind that.
Ahmad. I need you to give me what you think.
And while he's doing that,
Celeste.
Celeste. Alright.
so
Sorry.
because I love Bear McCreary so much, because he did the Battlestar Galactica
God of
soundtrack,
War.
God of War. I'm going to give it to God of War.
Okay.
God of War might actually win.
So I think that the Spider-Man soundtrack is like iconic to some degree.
I mean, I played that entire game, and I love playing that game. That being said, I really can't remember a single song.
You know what? I'm gonna say Red Dead. I'm just
Well,
gonna be.
I'll
I'm gonna be the voice of reason and just say Red
I think
Dead.
Sawyer might win that one.
Yeah, I mean, God of War, like Bear McCreary. If you guys haven't checked out Bear McCreary, he is a great composer. Everything he does is great, especially the Battlestar
Okay.
Galactica soundtrack.
I believe you.
Oh man, no.
Okay, well,
Okay, best.
I legitimately believe you. I just think Red Dead is gonna.
Oh,
sweep
this
like
next
half
one.
of
This
these.
next one's gonna be really hard.
Yeah.
So, best art direction:
Oh no.
Assassin's Creed Odyssey,
Not gonna win.
God of War,
Good chance of winning.
Octopath Traveler,
Great chance of winning, I think.
Red Dead Redemption 2, and Return of the Obra Dinn.
Octopath.
Octopath is
Hold
the
on.
darling here.
Honestly, like even though I think Red Dead's gonna sweep the other categories I voted against,
Octopath.
I think Red Dead
You
actually
think
will
Octopath?
not have a chance.
Oh, yeah, this one. No, there's
Like Red Dead, I think the world itself is densely packed. That being said, I think what makes Red Dead popular is not necessarily.
It's not the art direction.
It's not the art direction. Like
Yeah.
artistically, it doesn't exactly look
Yeah.
beautiful. It just looks detailed.
God of War
Okay,
has
okay.
a pretty good chance.
It's
we
God of
gotta
War.
hurry. We gotta.
It's God of War. I'm going with
God
God
of
of
War,
War.
okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. I do think that there's a chance that every category that Red Dead doesn't win, God of War wins.
Yeah.
But let's keep going.
Okay, then our next category.
Best
we have-
narrative.
best narrative. Detroit Become Human,
Mm.
God of War, Life is Strange 2 Episode 1, Marvel Spider-Man, and Red Dead Redemption 2.
Red Dead
God of
Redemption.
War.
Red Dead Redemption.
Spider-Man.
I don't think Spider-Man wins. You know what? I'm gonna say Red Dead 2. You know what? Red Dead Sire thinks
Spider-Man has a chance.
Spider-Man
He thinks, little does he know.
I'm voting with my heart here. I want Spider-Man.
I was gonna say.
I want Spider-Man to win too, but I just know it's not gonna happen.
Also, the irony that Detroit Become Human, a game entirely centered around narrative and story, does not have a single chance. At
Oh,
winning
there's
this.
no shot that game wins.
Okay, our next category, Best Game Direction. A Way Out, Detroit Become Human, God of War,
Ooh.
Spider-Man, and Red Dead Redemption 2.
Red
God
Dead
of
Redemption
War.
2.
God of War.
Red Dead Redemption 2.
You know, I'm going to keep going with the out of left field guesses and go with A Way Out.
Ahmad thinks God of War
What?
has a chance.
Wait, I don't think
God of
no,
War
I
has
didn't
a
say.
significant
Oh,
chance.
I said Red Dead Redemption.
Red Dead
You think I have
has a chance. Sawyer thinks. What do you think?
A
has
Way
a-
Out.
A way.
Only because
Oh.
the internet loves the guy who made this game because
Oh,
he
yeah.
trashed EA. That's the only reason why.
You know. I
Oh,
think
wait,
you're
yeah.
right.
Is it a way out with the one guy who's like really
It's like the
spontaneous?
two
He's like
brothers.
absolutely awesome.
Yeah. Oh,
that,
yeah,
that was a
that's right.
legendary.
Is that
moment
why? Is
in
that your
video
single
games.
reason for picking?
Okay, I'm figuring that just because the guy stuck it to EA because
Yeah.
I have a vendetta against EA.
Yeah, I love
That's
that.
like
I love
me
that
with
guy.
Activision
His game
at
actually.
this point, so I can
yeah.
understand.
His
that.
game actually looked pretty good.
Yeah, A Way Out looks interesting. I just don't know how successful. It
Yeah.
Also, I
was.
don't want to pay $50 for another PS4 controller. So, that's why.
He
Fair enough.
trashed EA.
Yeah.
Let's
Okay,
keep
next
going.
one. Best ongoing game, which means development of ongoing content. that
Destiny.
continues. Yeah. Destiny 2 Forsaken, Fortnite, No Man's Sky, Overwatch, and then Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six
Fortnite
Siege.
wins.
Honestly, I'm gonna again go out of left field and say Rainbow Six.
Fortnite.
I knew you were going to say Rainbow Six.
Fortnite.
I'm going with Rainbow Six because
Overwatch has a good chance. as
that
well.
game has done a complete 180. There's no way No Man's Sky wins this. No way.
No way.
Overwatch is going to take esports, but it's not going to take this category. Fortnite's going to take multiplayer, but it's not going to take ongoing.
All right.
Yeah.
Onwards and
We're
forwards.
almost done. Don't worry. We're almost done.
I know. My computer's running out of
Oh,
power.
okay.
Okay.
And then, actually, yeah, this is the last one. Game of the
Game
year.
of the year.
We might have different.
It's
yeah,
Red
we
Dead.
might have different.
It's
Okay.
Red Dead.
It's
It's
Red.
going to be Red Dead.
It's Red
But I
Dead.
still want to read through the nominees so we can hear the nominees. Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Celeste, God of War, Marvel Spider-Man, Monster Hunter World, Red Dead Redemption 2. Those are your nominees.
It's Red Dead.
See, I want to go out in left field
It's
just so
Red Dead.
because I want.
It's like
It's Red Dead.
The winner is Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Assassin's
Something
Creed.
like that.
You guys better be glad there's no like material possessions on the riding
there's
on
no
this
monetary
because you guys would lose like
Well,
half.
I'm
of
not, if
these.
there was, I'd actually have serious about.
I'm gonna be watching this tomorrow night. Like, yeah, here we go.
Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
I'll make sure
Like, no, damn it.
I'll make sure I email you guys this document
Oh, okay.
so when you guys are watching this you could just like
We could
mark
go.
it off.
We could go over this next time, I guess. If
Yeah, that being said, Red Dead is gonna win, but I think what
God of
should
War.
win is probably God of War.
Yeah.
Or Spider-Man.
It's between God of War and Red Dead.
I'm gonna say
like,
Red Dead Redemption.
As much as I love Spider-Man, like, granted, I need to play God of War at the break. That's what I'm gonna play for break. Is God of War. That's all I think. Yeah, Spider-Man. I want it to win. It probably won't. Celeste.
It's not different enough.
And Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Speaking of not different enough,
Yeah.
it's not gonna win.
You have to think though. Sometimes, who has more access to Red Dead? Kids. Kids have
Everybody.
Kids have more access to Marvel Spider-Man, so they can vote more.
Okay, but yeah, how many kids have access to Grand Theft Auto?
I don't think.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
true. I don't think
Yeah,
I'm thinking about
I
this
think-
in regards to the
I
game. I
think-
think I'm thinking of it as who's going to vote.
I
more.
think
Yeah.
I think Ahmad, you need to just think about how many people play Call of Duty, and then realize that Red Dead is really no different.
You're right. I
So-
mean, I was just saying.
Red Dead wins. There's no way. There's absolutely no way.
I
Red
wanna
Dead
say- I
wins.
wanna
Also, the other thing we're forgetting about here,
Red Dead.
Dead's on PlayStation and Xbox Spider-Man and God of War are both PS4
PS4.
exclusives, so you're leaving out the entirety of the Xbox market, or I guess fan base, and so they're gonna just go straight for Red
Which
Dead.
Sony deserves all of the nominations it has this year.
Yeah,
it's
I
just
agree.
like it's just like they don't have the same base.
All right, Red Dead Redemption for me.
Yeah, it's Red Dead.
Cool. So, yeah. I think it's funny how few times I was expecting to think that Red Dead would win more of the categories than I have it winning in, I think. But I still think it's going to sweep most of them. So
Yeah.
I have to be out by 9, remember? But
Yeah.
we have time. We have time.
we're 13 minutes out.
Yeah,
and
no,
we're
I'm saying,
done,
yeah,
so.
I'm saying we're good, but
Yeah, I think I'm looking forward to seeing it. Now, for our last bit of time that we've got, let's speculate. Because we know that there's going to be, I think it's at least 6 reveals they said they have planned for the night.
yeah.
Really?
So
6 reveals?
There could be more than
They've
that.
said that?
I don't know. I thought I heard Jeff Keighley say that, but I could be wrong.
I think Nintendo's been hyping up their presence at the Game Awards. I think there's an outside chance that we get the first Smash DLC reveal or a Metroid Prime 4 teaser.
I think there's that, and maybe we get something related that we don't even know is coming. Like, we get oh, here's one last bit surprise fighter for Smash Brothers.
So I think there's a really good chance that more Zelda DLC gets revealed.
Probably. Maybe a story DLC?
I would be really okay with that. That would be awesome.
This is the night we get the news of Goku and Smash. This is when we get it.
Oh
This is when
man!
we finally get it.
If that happens at the Game Awards, dude, the internet is over.
He's going to explode.
There is no more internet if
Yeah.
that happens.
Like, or we're like, what? The people all over the globe would be like, why can't I access the internet? And Goku rises from the ashes.
It actually ends up just creating Goku. Goku just exists in the world
The
now.
internet
after
explodes and creates a Super Saiyan Goku.
that.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get that. Sony's gonna have a big presence, I think, because if they're skipping E3,
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about they're skipping E3,
which is the first time in 24 years they've skipped E3.
which is crazy.
I think
Death Stranding.
Death Stranding will be there. Hideo Kojima's always lurking somewhere.
Yeah.
He'll be lurking.
Yeah, I think him and Hideo Kojima are gonna come out on stage again.
Wait, who? Kojima
And Norman Reedus.
I would think maybe some Last of Us 2, because that's awards bait.
That's true. Yep.
Uh,
It's like that and Red Dead are awards bait, basically.
man.
Things we're not going to get. Anybody who's expecting to get GTA 6 here, it's not going to happen.
No way.
Anybody who's
You're
expecting-
actually kind of stupid if you think that we're
Yeah.
getting GTA 6 at this.
If we're getting GTA 6 within the next 4 years, you gotta be kidding. Yeah.
Seriously.
We're not getting any news on Cyberpunk, I don't think. That's too far out.
No.
What else do you guys think? Well, and we know
Uh,
Far Cry. We
Far
know
Cry,
it's going to be a Far Cry
Cry
now.
6, yeah.
Insomniac could, I'm not saying they should, or that they will, but I'm saying they could bring a teaser for their next Spider-Man game. Because I'm just thinking about it, and they have an engine that's running. The swinging is great. The engine is great. Like they have a great framework and a great New York to work with. Now they just have to do more with it.
Yeah.
So they could just make a whole new game with the exact same engine, and I would eat it up. So I could see them being 2 years away from the next Spider-Man game. And if that's the case,
They're definitely already in development. We just don't know about it.
and if that's the case, why not?
Yeah.
But I also think that probably the next part, that if they show anything Spider-Man, it's the next DLC that comes out.
I think things that I want to, but know they won't be there. I don't think. But we know for sure that. I just had it on the tip of my tongue and now it's gone. Rocksteady.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
not. Rocksteady will probably announce something, but it's not going to be a Superman game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Rocksteady just needs to show their game, whatever it happens to be.
We need to see what Rockstar's doing. I want to know what.
You mean
Santa Monica-
Rocksteady?
Rocksteady. Yeah, we know what Rockstar's. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
I want to know what.
Santa Monica.
Santa Monica's doing.
I think, but they just finished God of War.
Yeah, but I want to know what to do. They got 2 teams, don't they? Don't they?
Oh, do they?
I think they have 2
Okay.
teams.
That'd be cool. I'd like to see them do something original.
I wonder what's next for Nintendo as well. You think they're going to introduce anything?
I think it's either a Smash reveal or Metroid Prime 4.
Maybe a Zelda tease, maybe for another Zelda.
Maybe,
Because they did announce like a team or something for that.
Yeah, there are talks about a new Zelda game. I just think I don't know. It seems a bit early. But the other thing is, I think for me it's between Bayo 3.
We're gonna get Bayo 3 footage.
Yeah.
For sure. But that's Sega. So.
It's sort of Sega. Like Reggie
Yeah.
Reggie was the one who announced Bayo 3.
Yeah.
So it's like it's basically a Nintendo property.
And maybe footage of Travis Strikes Again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I could so Tetsuya Nomura announced his like plan for trailer releases in December, and the Game Awards is not airing when one of those trailers airs. So I don't think that I don't have any expectations for a Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer, but I could see there being a Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer there.
This is what I'm going to jokingly say. Maybe this is when we get the Avengers 4 trailer. They just out of nowhere drop it.
Dude, if we get an Avengers 4 trailer... Oh, no. Here's what happens, right?
This Avengers game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we get the Avengers game, and then it cuts to black. And then the rest of the trailer is just the Avengers 4 trailer.
That's pretty great.
That'd be
Like-
that would be incredible. I would lose my mind.
4 is the Avengers game.
Oh,
It's the same thing.
God.
It's like releases simultaneously.
I just like melted into my seat.
Like that was.
I hope that doesn't happen, but that would be pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I would be shocked if that game has any gameplay and not just a cinematic trailer.
I think there's a good shot that it gets revealed, though.
I think it gets revealed, but there's no way it's gameplay. It's been. I mean, then again, they've been in development since 2016, but we've seen nothing.
I'm not gonna actually bet you, but I bet you that there's gonna be gameplay of the Avengers game.
We'll see.
I don't think so. I don't.
If
think
it's
so.
even there at all.
Yeah.
I really hope that game is actually happening.
Now,
I mean, it's
Square
it's
Enix is the
happening,
perfect
but-
company for it.
It's
I think.
happening, but will they have gameplay ready for us tomorrow?
No.
Yes.
part of me wants them to announce.
I'm just believing at this
whatever
point.
the next.
I mean, I hope so. That'd be cool.
This is-
I want to see if they're going to announce the next Resident Evil because
Yeah.
7 was in 16?
Yeah, 2016.
Or maybe it was 27.
Yeah, we're on track for one.
We're on track, and like they do have the remake of Resident Evil 2 coming out in January. But that being said, and it looks good. But there have been years where 3 Resident Evil games have come out the same year.
Yeah.
So
Oh wow.
I think maybe a Revelations 3 or maybe I think Resi 8's still a little bit.
Oh.
Off, but maybe Revelations 3.
I just remembered. Mortal Kombat 11. The rumors are spreading like wildfire that that's a thing.
Wouldn't it be 12? I thought 11 was the
No,
last one.
that was
Oh,
10.
well, because it did XL, so I thought that was like okay, never mind.
Yeah.
It's a lot of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat 11. I think that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Probably. And last bit, either gonna get Gears of War 5 or just Gears 5 is what they're calling it, or Halo Infinite.
Yeah,
We're not
or
gonna get
Halo.
both. It's gonna
Yeah,
be one or the other.
one or the other.
Yeah.
I think probably Gears 5 has the better chance of being there.
Oh yeah.
I would bet on.
I don't know why they revealed Halo Infinite.
Yeah, that game is way off.
Yeah, like
That's gonna be launched
Although-
next Xbox.
although
Oh, yeah.
to be fair, it has been 3 years since the last Halo game.
Yeah, but they're designing a whole new engine for this game.
No.
Oh,
That's what
really?
That first trailer was. At least I believe they are.
Interesting.
So that it's
Wow.
gonna be it's a ways off. I think it's like the Slipstream engine or something like that. So it like I said, this is going to be a whatever the next Xbox launch title.
The
is.
only engine the only name for an engine that makes any sense for me is the Hedgehog engine. But
I mean, okay.
but even then, it doesn't actually make sense because it's just a lighting
You
engine.
said that and just the Sonic thing just goes off in my head. Gotta go fast.
You gotta go fast.
Gotta go fast.
A
A new Sonic game now. A new Mario and Sonic game.
Yeah.
Dude, if I get like a legit Mario and Sonic crossover, and it's not like the Olympic game,
things. Yeah.
that would be awesome.
Oh, I mean, I'm just waiting for the next one when we get Tokyo 2020.
Oh, that's
Looking
right,
forward to
yeah.
that. The next.
Probably a new Frozen
Well,
game. Too. Forza.
Frozen. I thought you said Frozen,
Frozen.
game.
Yeah, I thought that's what you said
We're
too.
getting a Frozen
Could we get a
game.
new Frozen?
That's Kingdom Hearts 3.
Are they gonna? Did you mention Kingdom Hearts?
I think that there's a chance that there's a trailer that
Yeah.
plays there. I just don't have any expectations for one. That's my perspective.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised if we get something from Konami. Because Konami is getting trashed in the public right
Why?
now. Because of, kicking out Kojima.
That's right.
and
That's right.
Every
Yeah, they don't-
series. They pretty much ended every series.
Metal
they had.
Gear.
Although they do have a little bit of goodwill with Simon Belmont and Richter Belmont in Smash.
Yeah. Everything they've done well recently has been outsourcing their stuff to other people.
Oh, man.
That's the best thing
So-
they've done.
Yeah, I think the last thing, probably the only other prediction I have is I could see Nier was last year, right? Nier Automata.
I thought it was 2016.
I think it's
Was it?
No, that was 2017. Never mind.
Yeah, it was 2017. I could see Yoko Taro already having a trailer put together for whatever his next thing is, and
Shenmue 3.
oh yeah, Shenmue 3.
Yeah.
And then also FF7 Remake, since Kingdom Hearts 3 is done, it's done. I could see Nomura having put together a trailer for that as well.
What are your, give me, real quick,
Pipe dreams?
two pipe dreams or completely out of left field predictions. Just to see if we're radically
Sora revealed in Smash Ultimate.
not Goku.
I don't actually want Goku in Smash Ultimate. I think it would be cool, but I don't actually want that.
If Goku's
it
in
would be-
Smash Ultimate,
It's the one that would explode the internet, but it's not my pipe dream. Because my pipe dream is Sora.
Mhm.
So, Sora in Smash Ultimate, and then the Avengers game.
What are your two pipe dreams random?
and Smash Ultimate.
No, just
No,
it's
just
Game
just
Awards.
just
It's probably
Game-
not going to happen.
Just
but
Game
you want it
Awards
to happen.
revealed.
Dude,
And if you say
honestly-
Far Cry,
honestly-
I'm going to kill you because they already
What?
revealed that.
We already know.
Okay, well, so I don't know if this is Avengers 4. I'd like to see something
Avengers 4.
gameplay. I would like to see
Avengers 4.
Gameplay of
Actually,
Avengers
I want to
4.
see the entire film if they release the
Yeah.
entire film. But maybe after,
Put it
maybe
online.
after, yeah, maybe after
You
after
know,
the
that
awards.
wouldn't be the end of the world.
They just have the entire film there. You just pay the no. Just some gameplay. If there is this Avengers 4 game, something mentioned, something that'd be really cool. And also, I want to see something about, I don't know, maybe more. Some DC game. I want to see a new DC game.
You want to see a new DC
Yeah,
game?
new DC game. Something they're
Right,
working on.
Rocksteady's definitely working on a
Yeah,
DC
I
game.
just want to see something DC. That'd be cool.
Not Superman, but they're definitely working on something DC.
It's probably not going to happen, but I'd like to see gameplay of Halo Infinite. It's not going to happen.
Not happening.
Or at least a cinematic trailer. Not going to happen, though.
Not happening.
And my other pipe dream, this is definitely probably not going to happen. It would be a real long shot if this happens.
Yeah.
But a remake of the original 2 8-bit games of Metal Gear. Give me a remake of those
Dude.
in the Fox engine.
Dude,
Or at least, do what the Legacy Collection was on the PS3 and just put that on PS4.
I don't
Yeah.
want to get your hopes up, but you did say Konami's gonna have something.
Oh, I don't know.
What if that's
Konami
what it
has.
is?
What
if Konami
There's no
comes
way
and that's what
Konami
it
announces
is?
a Metal Gear project with Kojima on the same stage. That's just a giant middle finger to Kojima.
Oh, that's
if they
true.
announce something Metal Gear on the same stage as their creator.
It'll probably be Castlevania.
Yeah, it's gonna be Castlevania, and there's no way we're getting another thing Silent Hill. There's not.
Yeah.
The disaster that was that last project is.
But yeah, just my pipe dream is something Metal Gear, please.
Yeah.
I love Metal Gear so much.
We've announced. Konami walks on stage and says, we are announcing that we've sold Metal Gear to Nintendo.
And we just goes, no. We just lose it.
I don't know why you would have an issue with that.
Because Nintendo has much more of a family-friendly image, and Metal Gear is definitely not a family-friendly.
Bayonetta.
That's not Nintendo. They're just publishing it.
That's basically the same thing.
Okay.
Okay. All right. We've announced that Square Enix we sold Metal Gear to Square Enix.
I can live with that. I'd be much more inclined to have them be sold to Sony, because it basically is a Sony series.
That's
anyway.
true. I think it's either Sony or Square Enix.
Okay. Anyway, wrapping up because we know Ahmad's got to get
Ahmad
going.
has to leave. That's
So,
a darn
leave it
meeting.
Bit of a short episode
Yeah.
this week.
But that's all right. People keep telling us that they want the episodes.
I mean, it's the end of the semester and we're getting tired.
Yeah.
So-
And the other thing is, we are thinking about some ways we can change up the format for next semester. So, and we're also thinking of ways to keep the channel alive while we're gone. So,
It's still going to remain when we come back. It's still going to be the same crew.
yeah.
It's not going to be the same night when it drops.
Yeah.
We might... Go ahead.
The format, we might change.
Oh,
we
yeah.
might be trying new things
Yeah.
next semester when we come back.
It'll definitely be a semester of experimentation.
Experimentation, but we're trying to make it more interesting for you guys
Yeah.
to listen to.
Maybe
so
I do a Sawyer's random
Sawyer-
sci-fi
Yeah.
Sawyer's
Oh, yeah.
random sci-fi
Just
corner.
like, hey, here's a movie no one's ever heard of. Check it out. You know, I want to do that.
We'll make that a
We
segment.
kind of did that today with all the.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
we'll do a random segment.
Yeah.
Just
That's what we'll do.
Sawyer's junk.
We'll do like 20 minutes of random. That'll
so
be
20
the-
minutes
that'll
of
be
random,
the
but like
segment.
for each person. So you have sci-fi. I could have like like a random comedy or something.
Yeah,
right.
I'll cover sci-fi fantasy or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll do
it'll just be 20 minutes of random, and it'll
Yeah.
just be random
Yeah.
stuff. Anyways,
we had this revelation.
I like that.
here.
I like that we're just like brainstorming in the middle of the podcast.
Yeah.
We're gonna do something cool.
Yeah, we're-
Yeah,
we'll do something
we have
interesting,
some
yeah.
really neat ideas,
Yeah.
and again, I
Keep
have
it
some-
interesting for us as well as you guys.
Yeah.
It'll still remain an entertainment podcast.
Yeah, oh, yeah,
It's
yeah.
not gonna.
Yeah,
be
we're not doing anything other than movies,
Yeah.
TV.
We'll
We're
have
not
some-
gonna become political or history.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
We're changing it to-
Although at some point I think it would be funny if we tried to do an election special.
Oh man.
Both of us going like, well, yeah, that's happening. Also, the fact that we do an election special in an off year.
I
Like,
would-
it's not gonna be-
Oh yeah, we should do an election
Oh, my-
special next year.
Oh my.
Oh, that
God.
would be wonderful.
Yeah.
Anyways,
we would just like
so
but we can also
anyways.
have some interesting guests
Yeah.
on who.
Yeah,
have some,
we're thinking about some guests to have on.
Yeah.
I think we can confirm that Taylor is probably going to be back next
Yeah.
week.
I don't know about confirm, but strongly.
There's a
imply.
very very good chance
Yeah.
that Taylor is back next week. We'll probably try to do some Disney stuff
Yeah.
because that's sort of
because
her
I
area
missed it
of
the last time you
expertise.
guys talked about Disney.
Maybe live action Disney movies.
Oh, I'm down for that.
Because we
I
did
don't know.
animation the last time.
I haven't seen a lot of live action Disney movies.
I mean, well, we covered animation the last time, so I don't really know what's left. To...
But Ahmad missed the
That's
animation
true.
and stuff.
Well, we'll figure it out.
We'll come to a compromise.
We'll
Yeah.
come to a consensus. on
Also, let us know what future specials we like. We've already got DC and Star Wars being brainstormed. So.
that. Yeah, we just needed a good excuse to
Yeah.
do.
We needed an excuse to do DC, which I guess Aquaman's kind of an excuse, but we don't really have time
Oh,
to
yeah.
I
do that
don't,
before Aquaman.
I don't want to go see Aquaman.
I'm gonna go see it.
I've heard it's actually okay. But that's besides the point.
Anyways,
Yeah.
all right. Sorry, Ma. So that was the 11th episode of the podcast of the Cate-Cast.
Yes.
Thank you so much for listening. You can find us on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, YouTube, Podbean. What am I forgetting?
Nothing.
You said iTunes, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's everything.
All right. You can find us on Twitter at
Cast backwards of Cate-Cast.
Yeah.
CASTCATE. C's are both capitalized, no hyphen.
Awesome. Ahmad, do you have anything to plug?
Nope. Thank you guys for listening in. Thank you to
yeah.
our adamant listeners.
Yeah.
All 15 of you.
Yeah, these two are going to be so wrong next week when we get back to the Game Awards.
Go vote for God of War.
no.
on
Go,
every
well,
countdown.
no, just go vote. No, go.
Sarah
Literally,
has a
go
good
vote
amount of
for.
good God of War on.
Go if you're listening
Rightfully
before. If somehow you're listening before the Game Awards,
Which, I mean, you're going to have to do this real soon.
Yeah.
but-
Yeah.
go vote for Spider-Man.
Oh.
Yeah. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.
Bye.
We didn't do our names, but bye.
Oh yeah,
Bye.
I'm Ezra. I'm he's Ahmad.
I'm Sawyer.
I'm Ezra.
Peace out. See you next time.
Oh God.
What a disaster.
Hey, I think that's actually pretty good.
Ezra was like.